Lost in My 40s, season 2, episode 17, Lockdown. It's a Lock episode, obviously. It's a Derek episode. We measure our dicks, speak ill of the dead, and dream about showering with Kate. How's everybody?
Good.
Thinking about showering with Kate.
Yeah,
Yes,
you just made my day there.
Yes, hard not to think about that, huh? Once again, no current events this week because we did record this one early because Derek's in New York. But do I need to predict it again? Trump said something stupid and we're all horrified. The end. All right.
Except for his followers.
Except for his sycophants, the poor cult followers.
We're just prepping for Civil War II.
Yes.
Idiots.
Would you like a joke?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you get when you mix human DNA and goat DNA? Kicked out of the petting zoo.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bad. That was bad.
Wow.
All right. I happen to like that one. Last week, we mentioned the doctor who promoted germ theory of disease, or I promoted might be the wrong word, but that he was put into a mental hospital. So I have a couple more details about that. His name was Ignaz Semmelweis, and he was a Hungarian. he was a Hungarian physician and scientist. He was treating what is called puerperal fever, also called like childbirth fever or something. Well, what would happen is women would give birth and they would very shortly after that get very sick and die. So what he noticed is that when he required his obstetric staff to wash their hands, the incidences of this condition were reduced to less than 1%. So he thought, there must be tiny invisible things that are on our body.
Particles. He called it
that
cadaver
cause
particles. Infection.
Now, of course, he was correct. He didn't know that he was talking about bacteria, and that's why we do sterile environments for medical procedures now. But the most he came up with is there's something there. It's causing this, and when we wash our hands, it goes away. Well, medicine at the time thought that he was fucking crazy, and his colleagues basically just tormented him for a few years until he had a complete nervous breakdown because nobody would listen to him and everybody mocked him. And his colleagues had him committed, put in a mental hospital. 14 days, right after he was there, he was beaten by the guards. And this is like some horrific irony. Are you ready for this? He was beaten by the guards, which made one of his hands cut open. And 14 days later, he died of a gangrene infection from the microscopic bacteria that he couldn't convince anybody was there.
Wow.
He was posthumously vindicated when Louis Pasteur, as we all know, pasteurization, confirmed the germ theory of disease. And then everybody was like, oh, whoops.
No more miasma.
Yeah, sucks for him. So that is what happened to the guy. And
yeah, I mean, the doctors said, oh, we're gentlemen. We would never spread disease. And they literally would say that shit. I mean,
white doctors, no doubt.
Of course. Hungarian doctors, I guess.
All right. Also, last week, we wondered if Jack telling Son that you can't get a false positive on a pregnancy test was true. I thought that was the case. I think we all thought that, but we weren't sure. So here's the answer. Not exactly. You can get a false positive, although it's very, very rare, and there have to be some very specific conditions, one of which is women going through fertility treatments who have HCG injected into them. That is what the pregnancy test measures. And so it could pick up on that. Your levels could be different than what is normal because you're going through infertility. Or in the very sad case, which is what happened to me, was...
The dog agrees. It was sad.
Daisy's so upset about my miscarriage.
Yeah.
So what happened to me was I had tested early, and there is a tiny window where the embryo can attach to the uterus, and you will appear pregnant on a test, but you miscarry shortly, like right after that. And so that is what happened to me. So false positive in the way that, I mean, you were pregnant for like a hot sec and you just happened to take the test at that time. So those are the conditions in which that is false. But for the most part, it's true. If you get a positive, you're pregnant. Okay, this week, season 2, episode 17, Lockdown. It's a Locke episode and it's a Derek episode. And in it, Locke has the chance to walk away with money instead of helping his dad. We do discuss it a little bit in there. We kind of encourage him to do that, even though it doesn't happen. But what I want to know is, like, ethically, do you think that you could con a con man and still feel like you're in the ethical high ground? Ben?
No, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't try it.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
there's things you know that are wrong, and you do them anyway because they feel good, right? So
Yes.
yeah. It's unethical, but
You could justify it. How would you? I feel the same way, that I don't know that I would consider myself, if I did that, if I would like call myself ethical necessarily, but I think I could rationalize in my head, like a Robin Hood scenario. Well, I'm conning a con man, or I'm robbing the rich or whatever. I feel like I could, in my head, that's how I could justify it.
yeah.
Does that make sense? Christy, what
Yeah.
about you?
I don't think that I would do that, partly for the ethical reasons, and partly because if you're conning a con men are not good guys. They probably will do something retaliatory, and I don't want to deal with that, and I don't want to be scared of that happening.
I see. Okay. So
that's my main reason for saying I don't think I would do it.
Derek, what do you think? Could you con a con man and feel okay about it?
Yes, because I believe that 2 wrongs make a right and 3 rights make a left. But anyways, well, I don't think it's like either ethically bad, because they stole the money from someone, so you're just stealing it from them. I mean,
yeah, well, that's where the gray area is, right? Like, if you exhibit the exact same behavior as they do, is it ethically okay if you're doing it to them as opposed to, an innocent victim or something?
I'd say if the money, if whatever they stole, you conned from them and gave back to the original person, then it's full circle. And then I think that.
So Robin, that's what I'm saying.
We're in a place of ethics. If you kept it for yourself, then it's unethical because you're just doing the same thing.
Now in Texas, luckily, I wouldn't be worried about them retaliating because we have arsenals here. So.
Oh my God.
That's true.
Derek's going to war with a con man. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun question this week. Tell me, what do you love most about yourself? Christy?
My sunny disposition.
Yeah, I like that about you too.
Thank you. I feel like I'm a very positive person. People tell me that a lot. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I rarely see you like upset or in a bad mood. When there's something serious happening, I've seen you crack a little bit, but barely.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Sunny disposition. Derek, what do you love about yourself?
My intelligence. I'm pretty intelligent, so I like it. Not being a dumbass.
Not being a dumbass is actually
not being stupid. Yeah.
To be proud of. Yeah. Awesome. I like your intelligence too. All of my friends are smart because I think we talked about that last week. I don't really hang around morons, or the willfully ignorant is the worst. But that was last week. This week, Ben, what do you love most about yourself?
I am so humble.
Be serious. What is it for real?
I'd say probably the same thing, just wit, intelligence.
Yeah, you are a witty guy. That's what got me in the beginning of our relationship, because I just laughed all the time. For me, I am thankful that I am adaptable. I've been through a lot in my life. I've had more than one traumatic thing happen to me from age 0 to, well, recently, I guess, if we talk about our dog getting sick and dying all of a sudden. But I have been able to adapt and grow and learn from my mistakes, which I think is the best. And it also gives me kind of hope for the future. It's an interesting time, your middle age, because you're, kind of smack in the middle of maybe generations that don't really understand each other. And I see that with like,
especially now.
Yeah, like the boomers and
time.
my parents' age, and I see how some people get so solidified in who they are, like in their middle age, that they're incapable of change later on in life. And I'm pledging, like, I'm not going to be that way. I'm going to be progressive until the day I die. And even if the kids are doing things I don't understand, I'm going to make effort to understand that. And so because I've been so adaptable in my life, I believe I can achieve that if I focus on that. So that's my favorite thing about me, is that my ability to change. And
plus you start falling apart in your middle age too. It's
yes. My joints are mostly middle-aged.
Yeah.
Your mind and your soul or whatever get healthier. You get it all figured out, just as your chassis starts to fall apart.
Yeah. My brain feels great. My brain feels young. My body not so much. But okay, those are the things we love most about ourselves. What do you love most about you? Put it in the comments. We'll chat about it. All right. Next Tuesday, September 13th, we're back here for another pre-show with you folks. And then tomorrow, season 2, episode 17, Lockdown. Locke, Derek, we measure our dicks, speak ill of the dead, and dream about showering with Kate. Let's all think about that right now. Okay. Bye.
I'm going to go love myself after this show.
Derek, love it. Oh, okay. Hey, we'll see you next week. Bye, folks.
Bye.